My allergies have been going crazy.
They've been awful.
Nothing dies around here. At least in Nebraska. It just flat out freezes everything to death. Then you get like a couple of months, and then in comes the pollen. But here it's just like pollen or really heavy pollen.
Yeah.
It's that spring when you come out, your car's got yellow sticky shit all over it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and all the mold and mildew right now too.
Yeah. It's bad.
What's up, Evan Hirsch from Hannibal, Missouri? You know where that's at?
Mm-mm.
It's on the other side of the river from LaGrange.
So
it's like north of St. Louis. LaGrange is right here, and then you hop over the Mississippi River, and
it's right there.
bing, bang, boom, there it is.
So are Larry and Evan, are they friends?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Is Larry in yet? Maybe he's...
Yeah.
Jesus, what's going on?
Right.
He's probably like flying down the country
I don't know
road
if
to
we
get
can do
here
the
in
show
time.
without him.
He's like, holy shit, the show is coming on. I don't know if they get the internet in Missouri on Tuesdays, though.
Yeah, it might be a little bit tough.
Yeah, I think it's every other week.
Yeah. JD Mars, bonjour.
These guys are rocking out there with that movie.
Yeah. It's a pretty good movie.
What are they?
Are any questions off base?
No.
Good.
No, we're good to go.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
You should hear some of them that Adrian's going to ask. Holy. I'm like, your wife's not here, is she?
She doesn't have the internet today either.
I unplugged it.
He unplugged it. Larry made it. Oh my God, he made it.
Goodness, the show can
Larry
go on.
was just like... I'm sure Julie made it. Was just like shoveling it in. The show was on. Larry,
47.
Evan Hurst says we are friends. Larry is a great guy.
Yeah.
Guy drove here for 10 and a half hours from LaGrange, Missouri. Hang out.
To see you.
Just to hang out. I wasn't even here. Me and Ty were up in Omaha.
Oh, that's
and I
what he
flip
came
on the
for.
show, and he's here. What the hell happened? Oh, we were about 5.5 hours away, so we thought we'd just run on over.
Oh, just 5.5. No biggie.
I drove to Plano today, and that was too far.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that is. That's a haul.
I think we're live.
We're live.
All right, boom,
So,
boom, boom.
Over here.
Man, she comes in hard.
yeah.
Damn.
the way it
How we looking? Are we lined up? We got bottles here. Bam! Look at this.
good.
We are
There
going.
we go.
Good evening, everybody. It is Cigar Talk Live, and we are Brandonless. There's a big thing going on, this Go Brandon or something, and I thought they were just...
Yeah.
I saw it during the Nebraska game, and I thought this was like a bad way of reminding Brandon that he got injured and wasn't able to play at Nebraska when he went there.
Yeah.
So I thought this was just everybody was like, go, Brandon, go. And then it's kind of like, oh,
Yeah.
you didn't make it. You got injured. So I started thinking, well, that's a real, and it was Sean Ratz I saw it first.
Yeah,
I thought, oh, this makes perfect sense. Sean's giving him shit about something.
Yeah.
I learned today what it really is. And I had.
Oh, you didn't know?
No, I didn't.
shit.
What? I'm
Yeah.
60. I'm just, the internet's every Thursday for
That's
me.
right.
I don't know. So Julie's in. David is in. Even of my brothers and sisters. What's going on? JD Mars is in. Evan Hurst is in. Everybody's in. You know who else is in? This guy. Who are you?
I am Adrian from Cigars and Guns. We're coming to you live from Industrial Cigar in Frisco, Texas. But we also have a special guest today.
Special.
Special
Yeah,
is right.
Right. I saw your short bus out nice. That is nice. Parked right up in the front where all the short kids get to go.
I got a special driver today as well.
Did
That's
you?
great.
Nice,
Uh-huh.
nice. And you are?
I am Amy Porter with Lone Elm Whiskey.
Lone Elm Whiskey. Once again, Amy's on the street.
Yeah.
Parole officer says, be nice. So she put like some orange and Made like a little cocktail mix.
Some hooch.
Cheers.
Yeah, some backyard hooch.
Yeah.
My-
So hold on just a second. Let's take it up. I got my Diet Dr. Pepper going on. Still don't drink. It's the only thing I've done for 36 years in a row. Is not drinking. So they're asking, what is it?
What's in it? So I did an infusion with small batch. It's fresh Honeycrisp apples, star anise, clove, nutmeg, cinnamon sticks, and black pepper.
Right there.
Yeah, and then we just topped it off with a little bit of ginger beer.
Yeah.
It's pretty nice.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's a little fall drink.
Yes.
Yeah.
The cinnamon isn't too overpowering, but the spice is just nice before we get back into summer time this week, back into 80 degrees in Texas. So
Yeah.
I figured we'd
It'll be.
enjoy.
It's going to be 100 snowstorm, and then a tornado.
Yeah.
So Amy's here from Lone Elm, and we have done some really fun stuff with you guys. But tell us a little bit about Lone Elm, where you guys are located, why whiskey is so good, why are all of our friends addicted to it, just things like that.
Yes. So we are located in Forney, Texas, which is just about 20 miles east of Dallas. And we're out in 10 acres out at the distillery. So any Saturday you all are available, 12 to 4, you can come to a touring tasting out there. This week we actually have a chili cook-off that we have going on for the pre-qualifiers for the Terlingua contest.
Cool.
Yeah, so we'll have a bunch of...
That's a big...
Yes,
chili cook-off
I
over
didn't
there.
realize how big it was, and
Yeah.
I didn't realize that like there's Texas chili soup, and then like or I shouldn't say soup but without the beans, and then there's with beans.
Yeah.
That's a
Which
big controversy
yeah.
in Texas.
Yes.
Nebraska is all beans.
Yes, and
Wisconsin,
beans.
beans.
Texas, no beans.
Texas is no beans.
Yeah. To me, it's meat gravy.
See, that's what I say,
I'm
but
okay with that.
but you can't enter this competition with beans, and I just think
so it's a thing.
that's
See, that's
It's a thing.
That's a north against the south thing.
yes, that's
Yeah.
what I kind of thought with that.
Yeah.
My wife, speaking of chili, makes the world's greatest chili dogs. So you have to come up for a football game when she's going to do chili dogs.
Those are so good.
The chili dogs consist of all beef hot dogs that she grills. She makes homemade chili. She has these special buns, and she puts the hot dogs in, and then she loads them with chili, and then she stacks them on this tray, and she wraps jalapeno or a pepper jack Havarti cheese over each one and bakes them, and it shrink wraps all of the chili inside.
Yep.
Is it the greatest thing that you've ever
They're
eaten?
delicious, yeah.
It's crazy. I have like big Jonathan Scott in here, 6'9", plays the NFL for 10 years. There's an ongoing threat. If I ever have chili dogs here and don't call him in advance, he'll kill me. It's just it's a threat that will never end. So so if you get the chili dog opportunity,
yes,
jump on that.
that sounds amazing.
So we have a battery of questions that we like to ask, and as you know, I was an FBI interrogator for 20 years, so I'd like to ask you some questions, and I noticed that you're moving your head around a little bit, so you know what that means. I can't tell you. If I tell you, you might not be honest with me from this point on.
Okay.
All right? Sasquatch, real or fake?
Oh, for real. He is real. He is real.
This guy, unless he takes a shot at it, it's not real.
Have you seen it in person?
I lived in Wisconsin. I've been up in the upper woods of Michigan. Like, there's some stuff up there. Like, there's
Oh, yeah.
for sure.
Like homeless people living in the woods, and yeah.
The woods,
There-
the woods are their home.
Not
Yeah.
a big homeless population up in the north. When
No.
you get like feet and feet of snow, it's really doesn't
Yeah.
become a thing.
Yeah,
They get a little cold.
yeah.
I can see that.
So everybody is like, "Oh my God, that sounds so good." So we will publish what the recipe is of
Yes.
this magic elixir. So what's it going to take for you to believe it? See it?
Mark needs to take me to his property here in Oklahoma, and we need to see one. Of course, I'll be, with my strap with
Oh, you'll be
Everything, yeah.
like
Yes, you'll be
And
Gatling
he needs to come
gun.
up to me and growl or something. I need to see it.
growl. So you think a Sasquatch growls?
So if you, okay, so here's the real question, because you would be out there and you'd be thinking, Mark's got it all set up with a couple of his hillbilly friends.
Well, you are going to
Hey,
Oklahoma.
put the outfit on. I'm bringing this city folk up here. They're coming in. They don't believe it. So you're going to sit there and think that. So here's my question. So one comes around the corner. You're just going to walk towards it because you're pretty sure it's one of his redneck buddies. You're going to just walk towards it, or are you going to be hesitant? Like locked and loaded, finger on the trigger?
It's going to be shot for sure. So if it's one of Mark's buddies getting shot, I need to.
So Mark needs to pick somebody that maybe he's not so close with?
Yeah, and I'll create a form that, proves all liability off of me. So, yeah.
He's got to be able to find some sister cousins in Oklahoma. I mean,
Oklahoma is where men are men and sheep are nervous. So,
Exactly.
yeah, so there's a lot of squatch talk going on. We call them squatches around here. So it's very squatchy up in here. And you're moving your head just to get the whiskey moving, is what he said. It's all part of the strategery. She is a friggin' riot when she gets lit up. You should have seen her at the golf tournament. She had a tutu on.
Yeah.
Well,
She had
afterwards.
Yeah.
She had the whole thing going on. It was classic.
It was special. Again, my short bus.
It was. You got to park it right on the fairway. You're so special. So we're going 2-1 Sasquatch.
Yeah.
And I'm only going with it because a long time ago, my dad's uncle was the sheriff of a little town south of, well, not a little town, but a little town south of Omaha called Nebraska City. And it's actually where Arbor Day was created. So it's very woodsy. And he took me down there to see these, when I was really little, feet print that they grew watermelons in this field. And it was like it had smashed these entire watermelons on one step. And I saw it when I was a kid. So, and it was the sheriff that called us down and said, you guys got to see this. So, somebody stepped on some freaking watermelons is all I'm saying. So, and again, ladies and gentlemen, the reason that we do this show, Cigar Talk Live, is so that we can, in a sense, teach you how to experience a cigar lounge. Mm-hmm. Sit down, light a cigar, pour your mystery drink, Sasquatch, real or fake, and just get the ball rolling. And you never know where it's going to go from there.
Yeah, no, you never know. I mean, and these are all great conversations. I feel like I'm losing the bet here on, does Sasquatch live or not?
Well, you're kind of anti-paranormal altogether.
I am.
Yes.
See? He hasn't seen them, he's out.
Yeah.
Aliens?
I think yes, for sure. I mean, there can't be just us out there.
It's impossible.
Yeah.
I agree with that statement to a certain point, but
Like,
again, I've never seen an alien before.
but what if somebody is millions of years more developed than us? You look at where, the first tube television was really hit the streets. You'll know this, Larry Adams, in the 50s, right? In the 50s. And we were listening to radio in the 40s. And I just saw today for $1.7 million, you can get a 360-inch 8K television for your wall.
An 8K now?
8K's 350-inch television set.
350 inch.
Yeah, you need to.
That's like 80 inches. So
would it be
this entire
that
wall, 1.7 million now. So I'm gonna wait for them to go on sale.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Amazon will have them for $100,000 next week. Just watch. Somebody will get it and go, oh no, that's too big. Take it back. I'm gonna buy it when it goes back to the store. So you're a cigar smoker.
Yes, I am a cigar
So-
smoker.
Female, right?
Yes.
Female.
That's
This is all part of the interrogation.
That's what I'm clarifying or classifying as today. Yeah.
Yeah,
It'll be a
yeah.
female today.
Yeah, we're gonna go on the bathrooms out here. We're just gonna go declare what you want.
Yeah.
You know, not men or women's or anything. Just declare what you want. Yeah. So, how do you feel when you go into a cigar lounge? Comfortable? Do you feel like you just walked into the boys' locker room? I mean, how does it feel?
I would say beforehand it's a little like it's a little not nerve-wracking, but it's just that little bit you're not sure because most of the time it is all or mostly male. But getting more used to traveling and just going into cigar lounges, it's become easier. But at first, no. It was like sit in the parking lot and kind of check it out and see who's in there and then make an entrance.
Yeah.
But try and be quiet and, making sure you didn't light the cigar wrong or you're just making very conscious of those efforts.
I imagine if you walk in with a couple of bottles of whiskey, icebreaker.
That does help.
Look at this Jack Wagon.
So I saw him this weekend. I wish you all could see this, but we took a camping trip this weekend to Marble Falls. The place that we stayed at had a silhouette, like a metal silhouette of Sasquatch. So
Makes you wonder where they got the template to draw that at.
Yeah.
I think he was there.
So, I mean, I shot him.
Did you shoot him?
I did. And then you'll see. Oh, there it is.
Oh, nice.
He's
Oh,
dead.
it fell down.
That's actually another one. I tried to lift that up, but he's like embedded in the ground, but it makes it look like I shot him.
Nice.
I was like, yeah, that's perfect.
Put him on the smoker.
Yeah. So a couple questions coming in. We got my nephew Clayton, Texas. He's got a couple questions, and funny that he doesn't watch your wife's show, but he's asking, does size matter in terms of cigars?
You know, my wife has a show every Thursday night, and it's called Size Matters, so apparently it does. Size, I guess size does matter. I mean, it is, there are larger cigars, there are smaller cigars. The reality for me is the smaller the ring gauge, the more flavor you get because you're getting more wrapper. Wrapper is 40 to 50% of the flavor. Mm-hmm. So it's less diluted than when you get a larger cigar. A lot of people think 6x60 or a 7x70, or there's even 8x80s now.
Yeah.
That has so much filler in it that there's no flavor there.
Right.
When you're getting a cigar like that and it's $9.99, writing's kind of on the wall.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, you get a lot of food at Golden Corral for $9.99, but it doesn't mean it's good food.
Quality,
So this little cigar that I'll smoke next is a cigar that's from 100% Peruvian tobacco, which is very rare. But this is a smaller ring gauge. The cigar we're smoking, which is our newly revamped apparently house stick, is beautiful, by the way.
Yes.
They just came in yesterday, but apparently the blend changed. But they are really good.
It's incredible.
Did you not know that?
No.
Interesting.
He goes until he exhausts a certain tobacco, if it's the wrapper, whatever. He just said, we'll change it. It'll just never get worse.
Okay.
So this has changed, but it reminds me of the Fiat Lux that we were smoking the other night when Luciano was in. This is a disruptive cigar.
Okay.
Because it's incredibly mild, which is letting you taste everything. And that's the other thing is
that's good.
Their size matter and then their strength matters.
Yeah.
Because sometimes there are cigars that are so oily, and I don't know if this is like this in spirits, but there are some cigars that are so heavy and so oily that it gets in the way of the really unique flavors that sit behind it. So sometimes I like a lighter cigar, strength or body-wise, so I can taste everything that's going on. In spirits, are there ways that is it a distiller? What would you call somebody that is blending a
distiller.
A distiller.
Mm-hmm.
So do they, like we ask the question all the time of master blenders, are you blending to a flavor or are you blending tobaccos and then the flavor comes back to you? does a distiller have the ability to control the notes that they're going to get? Is it the ingredients? Is it the way the barrel's prepared? Is it the way it's aged? How do they get the wide range of different flavors out of a whiskey or out of a spirit?
It's what grain goes into it from the beginning. So, like bourbons are going to be corn. That's where you're going to get more of what I say is more of your astringent. You're going to get some of those higher alcohol proofs, but it can be more grainy in that effect. Then you have your ryes. Your ryes are going to be spicier. And then we're a straight wheat. So wheat is going to be a little bit softer, but it's also going to be, you're going to have a lot more of those notes, or you can have more of those characteristics. And yes, with same thing, we have our master distillers and our distillers, but they blend to and they distill to what taste that they want. So with ours, our master distiller always liked William LaRue Weller, Maker's Mark, so it was all wheated bourbons. So he wanted to go completely wheat, but also you play around with that in your yeasts as well.
Okay.
So the yeast that you pitch in when you're doing the mash bill is a lot how you can control your different flavor profiles. But then it also, once you get it in the barrel, you can get different variations from then as well.
So, growing tobacco, soil is critical.
Mm-hmm.
So, do you guys get wheat from a particular field? Are you buying it from a particular region? Or do you just get wheat from wherever you can get wheat from?
Well, so both. So we get it from a particular region. It's actually just down the road from us. It's off the Trinity River, which you'd think would not be good because that's normally where they hide all the bodies. But we do not have wheat with 3 eyes, so we're good there. But we want a soft red winter wheat. So it is a specific wheat, and we want to keep it in Texas. We try to keep everything as local as possible.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not a drinker. What's the difference between whiskey and bourbon?
So bourbon is a 51% corn. So the mash bill, what it's consisted of, it has to be at least 51% corn.
Okay.
Whiskeys, you can do whatever you want with it. Mm-hmm.
So they make, I saw is there rice whiskey? Mm-hmm. And that's like the Japanese do?
Yes.
So is that considered whiskey? Is it considered scotch? Is it considered?
It's considered whiskey.
Whiskey,
Mm-hmm.
okay.
And then you go into your Scottish whiskeys, your Irish whiskeys, your Japanese whiskeys, and your American whiskey. That's how you differentiate the whiskeys by region. But it's really only 2 categories of whether it's a bourbon or a whiskey, and then whiskey kind of breaks down.
And then scotch is done in Scotland or something? Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Okay. It has to be done in Scotland and depending in the region.
Yeah.
And if here, it's a single malt is how it would be.
Yep.
So you can't do scotch in the United States,
Right.
because
Well, the temperatures as well. Temperatures have to do a lot with whiskey. So that's why in Texas, we're able to do a whiskey in 4 years would be comparable to a whiskey it's 10 years aged in Kentucky.
is that because of the heat?
Yes.
Okay.
And because of the dramatic temperature changes. And we don't, a lot of times in Kentucky, sometimes them do have temperature controlled brick houses. And some of them, the climate just in Tennessee and Kentucky are a lot different than Texas versus even a lot different than Scotland. You know, Scotland's a lot colder and it's a lot rainier. At least in Kentucky and Tennessee, you still have summers, but it's not like in Texas.
Yeah.
It's the Wild West of whiskey, as they say here.
Yeah, that is awesome. I'm uncomfortable walking into a cigar lounge I've never been in before because I don't feel welcome. I didn't have that feeling at ICC. ICC is very unique. This is Larry Adams, of course. I want to share that feeling with as many of my friends as I can. It's hard to put into words. You just have to experience it.
Yes.
That's very kind, Larry. And obviously, Julie wrote that down for you because she's such a sweetheart. So she probably said, tell him this. But that's very kind. We heard something very similar from, we had a gentleman in Luciano who would probably be in the master distiller world when you guys go to a show and they go, that's him.
That's him.
That's Luciano in the tobacco world.
Yeah.
And from Switzerland, spent time in Brazil, does all of his stuff in Nicaragua. He uses some different tobaccos. He has this very unique illness. and it's almost like, it's called like, I want to say euphoria, but that's not it. But it is this deal that his system is super sensitive.
Equilibrium?
No, this is even more bizarre.
Okay.
Like if he heard a particular song in one key, if he heard it again in a different key, he physically gets sick. If he's doing something and there's another resonant everything he sees, everything in color, different colors, and he has, if there's a different resonating frequency in the room, it'll physically get him sick. But the upside is he has an ultra sensitive palate.
Okay.
So we gave him 5 cigars that we wrote numbers on, and he would smoke it and tell us. He wasn't just telling us, oh, this tobacco is from Esteli, which is one of the growing areas in Nicaragua. Mm-hmm. He's like, no, there's actually, Esteli is really almost like a much larger area, not just a city. This is from that northern area.
Really?
He's like, and I gave him our house stick.
Yeah.
That threw him for a tailspin because it's got Nicaraguan, it's got Brazilian, it's got Peruvian, it's got Dominican. So this one was a melting pot. But like I gave him a cigar from Mexico, the Chasero, 2 puffs, Mexican.
Love
2
that
puffs,
cigar.
Honduran.
Wow.
And he was telling us what wrapper was on it, what binder, what filler. It was like a parlor trick. It was unreal.
That's crazy. That's like a sommelier taking.
I was gonna say it was like a
crazy.
sommelier. Yes.
Yeah.
But to Larry's point, he had a similar experience. But he travels cigar lounges all over the world, and he said the same thing. It was just from a hospitality perspective, he's never seen anything like it in the world, and
It's rare.
And he had a great time and wants to do some really cool things with us. So we're really, really excited with some of the relationships we're forming, just like we are with you.
Yes.
So we had fun at our golf tournament. You guys just took that over.
Well, I did have Susan Kirby with me.
Well, there you go.
Did you hear about what she did on Saturday? I hope she's listening right now. Susan Kirby, if you're there.
Can they listen in jail? You know she has to be in jail.
This past Saturday?
Yeah. No, we had an event out there, and she just shoved me. She just pushed me down with bottles in my hands and ginger beer and the whole thing, and no, I'm kidding. I face planted it, but she was there, so I wanted to blame it on her and just see if she would get mouthy on there for me. 'Cause sometimes
Susan get mouthy?
Susan get mouthy.
Jesus.
I know. Well, she still has her scar from her above her lip when we went boating on Frank's boat that one day. So
She took a header.
she did.
Wow.
Did Frank hit the brakes or something? You hit the brakes in the boat.
Yeah.
Koosh.
Yeah.
That means Susan was experimenting. She hit her face.
Yeah, there's Frank.
You hit her in the face with a can.
Yeah.
Is that true?
It was a can of ranch water. Her face caught it. She was supposed to catch it,
Okay.
Yeah.
It's like, hit
but
me,
her
and
face
then
ended up
did
catching
this.
it.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
happens.
I've seen that.
Hey, it happens.
So speaking of spirits, JP is asking, is there something you can make with pumpkin spice? It is almost very similar, but that's
Yes, I was actually looking at doing that with a pumpkin spice. So I'm sure you just got to tweak
Yeah.
you can just tweak it and play with
There you
it.
go, JP.
JP actually drinks pumpkin spice all year long for the gayness. So
I understand that white girl in him. I do.
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah.
It's pumpkin spice season.
yeah, he does. He just sits in the waiting area at Starbucks and waits for him to write pumpkin spice on the chalkboard, and then he just starts jumping, screaming at a high pitched squeal.
He has a tutu though.
Do you think? Drops his pants and just flares out. Yeah.
But no, on Larry's note, y'all's lounge is different compared to a lot of other places. I haven't traveled probably as much as most people, but going to New Orleans, going to New Mexico, going to other places in Texas, Oklahoma, this is a home of its own. Like you just walk in and you never feel, and you always meet somebody new. Like when I met Rhonda up here, her and I have been texting ever since I met her. She just, how you doing, girl? Just check in, and that's just, there's something. I make the 45-minute drive up here just because I don't find that in
That's
Dallas.
awesome.
Like,
Yeah, it's worth it.
Well, we have Rob comes over from the west side of Fort Worth.
Yeah,
3 times a week.
yeah.
Hour and 20 minutes
And
each
he passes several cigar lounges.
Every
Yeah.
cigar lounge on the way over.
Yeah.
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 No, we're look, it's just like if you have a party at your house, you want everybody to have a good time.
Yeah.
So
Very much
we're
so.
just having a party at our house every night.
Yeah.
I mean that's just the long and short of it. I'm just going to talk about 2 cigars real quick. Normally we talk about cigars from a perspective of cigar newbies and whatnot. By the way, you're smoking a little stick of magic right there. That's the Cavalier.
Such a great stick.
There's 2, it's coming into the 4th quarter, and a lot of the product that we saw at the trade shows that we were told about have started to trickle in. This is a cigar package, which I just think is gorgeous.
That's so cool.
It actually is called the Cigar Bar, and it actually looks like a Hershey's bar. It has 3 Aladino Corojo 6x50s, which is basically a Robusto, but longer. But a great packaging. They only make 500 of these things. So this is really cool. We got, I think, 90 of them. So they took care of us on that. This is from the Privada Cigar of the Month Club. And this cigar here, they did 1,010 packs. This is a really, really unique cigar. It's called the Ghost version 2. And it uses you ready for this? Yeah. This will be kind of odd, Frenchish for you. But this has an Ecuadorian Habano. Habano is a wrapper.
Okay.
Grown in Ecuador. Sun grown. So they didn't shade the tobacco. The sun grown gives it strength.
Yeah.
Cooks the leaf in a sense. So it is Ecuadorian Habano sun grown rosado. So a rosado wrapper is at a certain stage of the aging process, and they stop it, and it takes orangish hue. And it's very unique. It holds a lot of oil. The fact that it's sun-grown, and they typically will put white sheets over the field so that they can block the direct sun hammering the leaves for the wrapper. So this is actually sun-grown, so you like a fuller-bodied cigar, it's going to be more full-bodied. But this group, they made 1,000 of these 10 packs. They took 900 and put it on their website and sold out in like 2 hours.
Wow.
So they split up 100 with 13 dealers in the United States. We were one of them. We were able to, I think we got 20 of these 10 packs.
Nice.
Anyway, we put them on the web.
That's cool.
That's about 120 bucks.
Yeah.
These things are, I think, about $30. The candy.
Boutique.
It's called Boutique.
Yeah.
Yeah, anyway, I haven't tried it yet, but I know who made the cigar. They don't want us to mention who that is.
Oh, okay.
But it's Anganorsa. And, I mean, what's the odds that they're watching?
Right.
I mean, slim to none. But Anganorsa makes some really nice stuff. So,
Yeah, they do.
anyway, it's all Nicaraguan filler and binder, sitting on top of this really funky wrapper. So I'm really excited to try that one. Probably would pair really well with your magic
Yeah, the
concoction.
spice that's going on.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so I have a question. For
Uh-huh.
were you done?
No, that's it.
Okay. So I have a humidor at home, and one of my what is a humidor supposed to be kept at? Because I think I have the hygrometer in there, but there's 2 numbers. I think I was looking at the left number, not the percentage.
Okay.
And so
Is it digital?
Yes.
Okay.
So what percentage is it supposed to be at?
There's a rule of thumb. The rule of thumb is keep your cigars at about 70 degrees and 70% humidity. I don't buy it.
Okay.
A cigar, have you ever had a cigar that you feel it, now like this is cool. Like I can go right up to the ash line, roll this around. This is usually a good sign. You'll feel it's a little warmer down here a little bit, but if you feel your cigar, so you could go right up to the ash line and you feel where the heat's at.
Yeah.
But have you ever had a cigar where it gets really soft and squishy, and it'd be hot all the way down.
Yes.
Okay, so that means that the humidity in the cigar is high, which is 70+%, and that's actually steam that's behind it, behind the ember. It's trapped, so it softens everything. So imagine you're softening the oils, and now you're pulling it out. It has a chance to get bitter. So I actually have my humidor at home at 63%. And I want the cigar a little bit drier because we did a test. We took a 70% cigar, lit it, did 2 pulls on it, we have this sensor that can actually measure the humidity of the tobacco.
Really?
So we poked that in the end that we're smoking from, and 70% on one end was 80% on the other. So what that meant was, as we start pulling that steam down there and that heat down there, you're getting much, much higher humidity that you're actually smoking.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
I run a little drier, so it's more like 70% by the time it gets to me, instead of it being 80% by the time it gets to me. So the other thing you have to be conscious of is if you're going to smoke outside, what's the humidity like outside? Because in matter of minutes, that cigar will acclimate to what you're doing. So if it's 80 degrees and 80% humidity outside, it's going to get wet. So it'll be harder to keep lit.
In the summertime, that's why it makes so much sense.
Yes.
Now.
Winter, it's going to be dry, it'll acclimate, the cigar will dry out a little bit. So the best thing to do is take like one of our packs. Let's say it's a 69% pack. Take one of the packs, take your hygrometer out. You can pop it out typically. Take that out, put the bag, get a Ziploc and throw the hygrometer in with the unit and let it sit there for a couple of days. And the bag should get the interior of your Ziploc to, let's say, 69%.
Okay.
Then what's your hygrometer say? If your hygrometer says 72, then you know, because they can be off about 3% either way.
Right.
So you
okay.
got to kind of figure out, it should be accurately 69%, says 72, then you know.
Okay.
So take it to 63, it means it'll be 66. So that's just, but I think mid 60s, you're fine.
Okay.
And actually, the cooler the cigar, the better. So you don't want 75 degree cigars or 80 degree cigars. You definitely don't want 80 degree cigars.
Yeah.
There's another little phenomenon that, we just call it the protein of tobacco, but they're beetles. So you don't really want the beetles to wake up because they'll lay dormant, particularly Cubans, because in the Dominican and Honduras and places like that, they actually freeze the cigars. Cuba, they don't give a shit. So they just throw it on a boat and they ship it. The cigar shows up. If it hits 80, 85 degrees, about 80% humidity, the beetles wake up and they become basically the termites of your humidor and will go through and just eat all your cigars up.
Make tiny little
Bad.
holes.
Yeah, not good. So if you ever get a box of Cubans or you ever get a Cuban cigar from somebody, throw it in the freezer for a couple of days.
Okay.
And just let it kill whatever is potentially in there. But they'll lay dormant for years. And then, boom, the heat wakes them up and off they go, hungry. Yeah.
Yeah, JP made a comment. He really likes the way you were fondling that cigar.
Of course he does. He doesn't watch this show for content. He watches it for himself and his personal needs. Yeah.
Is this his OnlyFans page?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Got his version.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then we got Richard Fisk coming in. He loves Lone Ale, as we all do.
Oh, Richard. Hello, Richard.
Yeah, so that's our cigar lesson of the day. But yeah, humidors, just run the humidor a little bit lighter. I did learn something from Luciano, which shattered a myth that I always had.
Okay.
My story was always leave the ash on as long as you can, let it fall off when it wants to fall off.
Yes, that was another question.
Wrong. Leave about 1 inch of ash, so you want to protect the ember and keep the ember cool. 1 inch of ash, up to 1 inch of ash. But once you get to that 1 inch, then just roll that off, because a long ash will actually hold the tar, and then you just keep pulling it back into the cigar.
We're smoking tar, basically.
You're pulling in all the,
Okay.
it took the bad stuff out, and you're pulling it back in. So just carry enough of an ash in order to keep the cigar. That's perfect.
Yeah.
Okay.
But this cigar, construction-wise, you could probably go to here, and it would
Yes.
hold the whole ash. And these people are sitting here holding the ash and show, look how long this ash is. That's great. It's not actually improving the experience, though.
I think of
Okay.
how
Didn't know that.
when we smoke Atabase, right? I mean, that
Yeah.
ash alone, because of the construction, you don't have to be upside down smoking that thing. You can just kind of leave it. But that ash will just stay on for half of the cigar.
Yeah.
Oh, how many times have we let the ash get, this long and
Yeah.
then just
Stand
set
up.
it like that and it
Yes.
just stands up?
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's not good. So we learned it. His deal that we did, it was on Tales of the Lounge. He did
Okay.
that. He let the whole 2 hours run.
Nice.
So many different myths that were just blown
Interesting.
up.
I got to go back and watch.
And
Yeah.
of all the things to pair with, I mean, we were talking about which spirits, and he was really into wine, so he was talking about wine and all this other stuff. Cheese.
Okay.
Cheese,
Yeah.
because of the yeast and the acidity and all of this stuff, prepares the palate perfectly.
Any particular types? Like
He didn't say played out. When he was here, we had a cheese played out, and Britt grabbed a few pieces of cheese and had some cheese, and then smoked one of his cigars and said it just brightened up.
Okay.
I can imagine. I mean, it'd just be like with whiskey or with wine or with anything else. Your sharper cheddars with that little bit of salt, versus your creamier.
Yeah.
I don't know how to pair it, but I
No.
don't get why.
Yeah, it was.
Whiskey, I can help in that.
Yeah, it was really. It was so interesting. I learned so much.
Oh, that's awesome.
So we're supposed to tap that ash. Yes, you are. I'm gonna tell your wife now. Tell her permission has been granted by the guys on Cigar Talk Live.
Yeah.
That you are here to tap that ash.
It's gospel, yeah.
Yeah, she'll probably slap you and say, "Go back outside and finish your cigar." But yeah, just tap the ash. I think that's the secret.
Okay.
Secret to a happy marriage too, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Jane
Yeah.
made another point. There's these long ash contests, and that's probably a little bit different because you're doing the contest to create the longest ash. You're not really enjoying the cigar necessarily,
Right.
But yeah, if you're sitting enjoying a cigar, let it go for an inch, and then.
But how much fun is a slow smoke competition?
Yeah, that's super fun. Yeah.
That is fun. Slow smoke competition. Him and my wife got in, had the Battle of Texas. And he might have let her win. But anyway, she won. 4 cigars she'd ever smoked, she wins a freaking like $1,500 gold pen and shit. So, but you get a cigar that's just a little bit larger than this. Just like that. They have a special label on it. All the labels are lined up exactly in the same spot, which would be about to this line. It's white, so it's the last person to get that label to burn without the cigar going out. And everybody's sitting here holding it, watching it, and studying.
You
Take
can
a
only
little
light
bit
it
of a
once.
pull. You can only light it once.
Light it
With a match.
once.
And the cigar is literally maybe this long, and they burn it to there. Imagine how long that takes. I mean, if you look at that cigar, because we've kind of zippity-doo-dah through this in about 30 minutes, right? 3 hours and 45 minutes is the world record. Might even be closer to 4
I think
hours.
it's closer to 4. But yeah, Bagley and I think we took it to about, it was close to 3 hours.
Yeah. It's crazy. And you have to just sit there and take these little puffs.
Yeah.
So,
And keep it going. And as soon as it goes out, the trash talking starts. It is, you wouldn't believe how rowdy a bunch of guys get that are just sitting there staring at this
You're
smoke.
sitting there protecting it because AC is going. Any type of windage is creating more of the ash, the cigar to burn. So you're protecting it. You're like taking a puff. You put it down. Complete silence. You cannot speak. But I think we kind of.
Oh yeah, no, the rules went out the window for us.
But it's a
I
big
was gonna
thing.
say, you guys all sit
I mean,
down quiet.
they're sitting here going, okay, so you have to be quiet. You can't ask it for the first half hour. You can't talk for 15 minutes. At 15 minutes and 1 second, it's just the shit. An hour later, all you hear is guys jumping up, going, "Down goes Frazier! Down goes Frazier!" I mean, it's crazy. All because of a little smoking this and smoking
I
that.
think the world record for the quickest out was Ron.
You know Ron, right? Ron Hancock.
Oh yes.
Okay. So I'm going through the instructions, and I hear, "Shit, I'm out."
It's probably more
Like
like
we haven't started yet.
yeah.
He's trying to light it, and his 2 matches went out. And he's out.
You have to light it with
You have two matches.
And that's it.
That's it.
Oh, I would be done.
Yeah.
Lighting it with a match, that's another master art. When I was in New Mexico, I drove around. It was not a very good cigar, but I just wanted a cigar. So I got one anyways because I wasn't prepared. And I then drove around for another hour and a half to get matches, and all I could find was a box like this. It took me pretty much the whole damn box to get that thing lit. Because in New Mexico, it's windy, and I'm trying to block it. And I didn't have any whiskey to drink, so... You know, it wouldn't have been any easier. Right. Mm-hmm. Completely.
Could you see it? Yeah. I got one match left. I got this whiskey. I got this T-shirt I'm not going to wear anymore. I'm going to douse it. Light the whole freaking thing on fire. Are going.
Happy camper.
It makes perfect sense. The cops will completely understand. What are you doing, young lady? See, here's the deal.
Yeah.
I'm glad you understand me.
As an FBI interrogator, I knew you a long time ago.
Evan has thrown out a great question because I want to know too. Zulus, are they in?
No, they are not in. They are officially, they're very much on order, but like the rest of the cigar world, they're
Supply chain.
on back order.
Is the cigar world like everyone else right now with back order?
Crushed.
Yeah.
The cigars that we would be receiving now after properly sitting, after they're rolled and all that stuff, we would be getting the product that would have been rolled in the months that COVID was happening and the factories were shut down. So Honduras was hit by a Cat 4, then a Cat 5 hurricane in the same month, then closed twice for COVID. And on the better cigars, like our house cigar,
Yeah.
one guy rolls it, he's in his 70s. So he was the last guy allowed to come to the factory. So we sat there and waited for this guy to get back to the factory so he could roll this cigar. Mm-hmm. So they roll the cigar and then it has to sit and micro ferment after that point to let all the tobacco come together, which could be months or weeks depending on the cigar. So we've been experiencing, one manufacturer, I had 7,000 sticks on order. I placed an order for 7,000 cigars, and the first shipment was 70. Jeez. Yeah. Wow. So, and that was in February, and today I just got notification that they just shipped like 600. But it's October.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
That's how
Crazy.
we've been struggling all year too. We can get bottles, and I can get sleeves. So the sleeves are what goes over. You have to have a seal over the top of it.
Yeah.
But I can't get corks now. So now we had to order synthetic because that's all we can get. Otherwise, corks are on back order until forever. So we have purchase orders that have to be filled right now, like yesterday, and I have no corks.
Yeah, the big issue in the cigar industry right now is no boxes.
Yeah.
So there's cigars that are done, but there's no boxes. So Brandon's wife actually designed some small boxes, and for a couple of our manufacturers, is up until like the day before she went and had her baby a month ago, she was making these boxes. She actually designed a box that goes together like a puzzle. They glue it together and off they go. But she was making them in her garage because you can't get boxes at the box factories.
Like hundreds.
That was 700.
Holy shit.
Yeah. 700 boxes.
Yeah, right before she was
Yeah.
went into labor.
What is he making her do over there?
Well, in between babies, she has to do some other work, I guess. Jesus. I just told, don't even bump into her. I mean, don't ride in the same car together. Don't let her do your laundry. I mean, just stay away. Fertile Myrtle over there, Jiminy Christmas. This gal. You're never going to guess. Yeah, we know you're pregnant.
Know.
Jesus. You haven't been. Yeah, so anyway.
Mark Meyer says hello, Amy.
Hello, Mark.
Mark is rolling. And
Mark.
I can't remember if it was Mark or who it was that had a picture today of. No, I think it was Gary that had a picture of the house stick, and it reminded me, I need to try this. Yes. It's really good.
I love this house stick.
It's so flipping good. This blend is definitely different. But
I like it better.
It's good.
Yeah. But I love the house stick, but who doesn't love a principal? I mean, that's the other thing that bothers me is when you go into other cigar shops and they don't even know what a principal is. They don't even know what it is.
No.
I'm like, but I like principal, and they're like,
And that's the funny thing is they're going to be like, oh, you don't even know what you're talking about. What kind of trash are you smoking?
Yes.
Yeah, we have Cohiba and we have, Undercrown. Yeah, it's crazy. But that's the way we go. And we haven't even asked, are there any questions out there? I mean, we've kind of been...
we've been talking.
So you went out and did what this week? You went out and drove through your truck through the mud or something, shot Sasquatch.
We did,
So shot his shadow anyway.
Yeah, pretty much. Every year there's many Land Rover rallies all over the country, but this one in Marble Falls every year this is the largest one. 150 Land Rovers showed up.
Is that down by Austin, or is that what?
We did it at Marble Falls.
Okay, it's down by Austin, though, right?
Yeah.
West, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Maybe 45-ish minutes from Austin. We stayed at this yurt, if you ever heard that term. A yurt is a big tent.
Oh, yes.
But it's super fancy. This one we stayed in, wood floors, air conditioning, heating, 4-poster king-size bed.
You don't watch
nice.
great Netflix? They talk about yurts all the time.
Yeah.
Man, I'm learning something every day.
Cigars and Guns, we did a range day out there. We did sporting clays. So we're smoking United cigars, shooting clay pigeons, and just a great time. Yeah, and got the rovers dirty.
Nice.
No damage, to mine at least. So
nice.
Good times.
Well, we're heading down to Austin. Brandon and I are heading down to Austin to see F1 on Sunday.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So
that's gonna be fun. Yeah.
Our friend Pablo.
That's right.
From that is co-owner of Petoro. They own a watch company called Cyrus Watches. The cheapest watch is $10,000.
Oh, okay.
And then they have
I'll take two when you're
$230,000 watches. But they're a sponsor of the U.S.-based Haas team, F1 team. So we got sponsor badges. So we get to go down in where the cars are at and shit. Yeah.
That's going to be so much fun.
Yeah, it's going to be a blast.
Yeah.
So we're going down Saturday night, get over there and the whole day at the racetrack, and then head back Sunday night.
Beautiful.
Yeah, it's going to be fun.
There's nothing like a live F1 race, especially
even if you're not even into cars.
I was going to say,
the sound and the speed is F1 is Formula One.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Austin, there's only one stop in the United States for Formula One. Worldwide for racing is like soccer is worldwide.
Okay.
It's massive, and there's just one U.S. stop, and it's in Austin. It's a great track, but it is the sound, the speed is just unbelievable.
Yeah.
I mean, it is unbelievable. You watch these guys; they go from 180 miles an hour, hit the brakes at a point where you're like, oh, obviously their brakes don't work because they're flying, and you're going, you should have stopped a long time ago. And then they slow down and make a corner at 40 miles an hour, and then they're back to 120 miles an hour in 200 feet. I mean, it is crazy. They said that, and then the shape that these guys are in is unreal. But this one long straightaway in Austin, when they come down to the bottom of the hill, they're doing, when they put both feet on the brakes and push, it's the net equivalent of doing a 700-pound leg press.
Yeah.
Just to get the car to stop so they can make this turn.
Or slow down, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's all the gears, the shifting up and down, everything is all handled on the steering wheel. Mm-hmm. And it's unbelievable. We went out in a race car on my birthday, and I went for a half hour in the passenger seat with a professional driver, and I literally about puked in the car. I mean, it made me sick. And they have this computer sensor that shows the G forces that you accomplish in the car. And we were at 1.5 G. So you go into a corner and you hit the brakes, and this 1.5 G's here, and then you're back here, and then you're over here. The F1 cars are pulling 4 G's going around these corners. It is crazy.
Now that I've experienced before when I was space camp when I was a kid, and they had a centrifugal force like that where each time you would go up, you would experience a different G force, and I can't imagine in a vehicle what that would be like.
And it's like around they're going around long corners that maybe 400 yards or 500 yards. That's just a big 4G pull, and then you shift and you're going the other direction. But it is very, very cool. We've been to them a couple times, not from these seats though. So this will be a fun treat. Speaking of Petoro, first Friday.
Oh yeah.
Which I think is like November 5th.
Oh yeah.
We got a call. I think, are you guys going to be involved in this?
I am. Yes.
So, makes it even better.
Yes.
But the worldwide global release of the Petoro White Label.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
And the rest of the cigar universe doesn't even see it until the trade show. Mm. So we get it only here until that point in time.
Sweet.
So to have a world release, and he's coming in from Switzerland in order to do the launch, it's going to be really cool.
Yeah, we're going to do some special cocktails and some pours and all that for y'all too. Yes.
Looking forward to that. So,
I kind of selfishly just wanted to be here, but when Brandon said, I was like, yeah, I'll pour. Can I please come? We've got a lot of all of these things we have coming up together.
I just know that whenever you and Brandon, like, I talked to him the other day, he's like, I got to talk to Amy. And then I thought, oh man, we're going to have what we call a plethora of shit going down is what's going to happen.
Yeah, we had a nice 2-hour-long conversation.
Oh yeah, we have stuff, I'm sure, planned out till Christmas at this point.
We do. So y'all are coming down. We're having a prohibition party December 4th.
Nice.
So we're gonna have
yes.
So fancy tie and hat. We're gonna have Chef Matt out, my 2-star Michelin chef, and he's taking care of all the bites. So details will be coming with that.
Exciting.
How cool is that?
And then I got into the night at the factory because I have been wanting to do that. So I'm gonna be doing cocktails and drinks for that.
Oh my God, that is. Right. Night at the Factory will be mid-December. For tobacco nerds, Larry, if you're going to make another question, Larry and Julie, you guys might as well just move here because at least just spend be like normal people that live up north. They just go to a warm climate during the winter. Well, Night at the Factory, we will have hopefully 6 rollers this time, but to be able to taste the individual tobaccos, put together a sushi menu, take it to a roller, have them roll your cigar for you. You get to watch it roll. Smoke 2 or 3 different versions of what you think you want, and if you like it, we'll make some for you.
That's cool.
And we did it last time with only, I think, 18 people got to do the blending, and about 40 people got to do the watching.
With one roller.
Yeah. This will now be, everybody here will get to do that rolling experience. So it is very, very cool. And Brandon does such a good job of marketing that 3 or 4 other retailers saw it and started contacting Edgar going, hey, we want to do that thing. And I told Edgar, they don't get to just take our ideas this quickly. So this one stays exclusive for a while.
Perfect. Oh, it's going to be fun. Susan's in.
Susan.
She's probably healing up from something.
Someone must have texted her. We were talking about you, Susan.
Yes.
She
Yes.
had her one call from jail out.
She's the only. You could have had 9 sailors walk up to your guys' tent. They would all walked away just like blushing. Yeah. Yeah.
I know.
Yeah. Just when you thought you knew every cuss word, spent 5 minutes with, didn't know you could use those two together. It would have a different meaning.
And what a beautiful combination.
So where does the clown come in? Okay, there we go. So anyway, yeah, so we've got things going on. Very busy time coming up here. It is definitely holiday season for us, and it's going to be rocking. Lots of new cigars coming in. We have a ton of cigars in right now.
Yeah, speaking of, so event season, I think was mentioned, it's kind of happening now. We have a range day coming up,
Yes.
November 4th. We're going to have F1 rifles out there. We're going to have full auto rifles. We're going to raffle a M&P 2.0 pistol in a pistol case, of course, with cigars. We'll be out of the range, so that's going to be a lot of fun.
That'll be fun.
That's awesome.
I think the last time, I couldn't make it the last one, I had a call that I tried to reschedule and couldn't get it done.
Oh, yeah.
But didn't you guys like melt down out there? Wasn't it a little toasty warm that day?
It was super warm, yeah. And I try to do a couple of these range days throughout the year. But yeah, it was a little bit warm, but yeah, November is going to be nice and cool.
Yeah.
The weather's going to be perfect, so we'll do, it's an outdoor range, so we'll shoot some steel pistol up close, maybe, 10, 15 yards. And then we'll go back 100 yards and shoot some rifles and maybe do some long distance shooting as well.
Nice.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
It's going to be fun.
Oh, yeah.
Do you shoot guns?
I do. I do.
You should join us. And I'm sure it'll turn into an after party here. So, yeah.
No
Why
way.
wouldn't it?
Yeah.
So you don't drink before you shoot, right?
That's probably not a good idea.
Yeah.
Okay.
No.
Just checking.
Well, yeah, so the range that we go to, it's a private range. Dave's been there.
Susan Kirby does.
No.
And then she just aims for the sky.
Oh, Andy over there.
The range it's operated by law enforcement, so we have typically FBI, CIA, those type of guys there. It's a private
Definitely
range.
no drinking.
No.
Yeah, so
I know some of the FBI guys.
I was
Yeah,
gonna
yeah.
say they'll know.
Yeah, safety range officers out there, and just an all-around good time. I made this comment last time we talked about a range day where Brandon hadn't shot in a while, so he was out there, shooting, and Jeff came up and just gave him a couple pointers, and then the rest of the day, bing, 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 he was on point. So that's the quality of the instructors out there are superb.
Oh yeah. Yeah, Jeff is unreal.
Uh-huh.
He is unreal. So did you have a good time tonight?
I always have a great time
Good.
here.
Good.
I always have a great time here. I mean, I started out my morning again in the barrel room. I think every time I'm on this show, I'm in the Rick house.
You woke up in the barrel room?
I fortunately did not wake up in the Rick house or the barrel room. I had a barrel pick this morning, but I think the last time I was on this show, I started drinking whiskey at 9, 10 o'clock in the morning.
I mean,
too.
someone's got to do it.
Somebody does. Quality control. It's
Yeah.
a tough job.
It is.
It
It
is.
is. You've accepted the challenge and
Yeah.
you've done it well.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Just like you guys, I mean, started the shop. We're here smoking cigars 9 a.m. If not
Yeah.
even before that.
Yeah. Our ICC golf guys get together
gosh.
every Sunday morning, and the rule.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
The only rule is cigars lit by 7:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
Other than that, break every other rule.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bump it, roll it, hit a house, don't count it, doesn't matter. But and they take the hit in the house thing pretty serious. They club, they just bomb some of those houses.
Jeez.
But it is fun. We have a good time,
Yeah.
and everybody just cheats their ass off.
I mean,
And then comes in and brags about their score like they just turned in their PGA Tour card.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, I shot 39 on the back. I'm like, your ass, man. The 9 that went in the water count. Oh, okay.
sounds like something KO would say for sure.
I didn't say who it was, but yeah, pretty much. Well, I think with that,
Yeah.
we should give the internet back to somebody else. I mean,
Yeah.
we've pretty much taken the entire internet
Yeah,
tonight.
definitely.
It's crashed.
Yeah. Thanks for joining every Tuesday, 8 p.m. Amy, thanks for being here. Appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
Yeah,
guys
thanks
for
for being
having me
here.
again.
Thursday nights, size matters. Of course, Saturday at the shop.
Yes.
Football on Thursday nights, football on Saturday. There's just always something going on. And if there isn't something going on, we will find you a bottle of Lone Elm and make shit happen.
Yes.
A party in a bottle.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it just won't have cork. It's just
it's just not going to have a cork.
No.
It makes it easier to drink.
Exactly.
You won't have anything in your way.
No.
No obstacles whatsoever.
Exactly. Good. Well, Amy, thank you so much for coming in and joining us. We're excited about everything that you have planned for improving all of our events through the balance of this year.
Yep.
And look forward to having my kid back next week. And on the show, Adrian, as usual, thank you very much.
My pleasure. Thanks.
And all of you, thank you for joining us.